Hello from Russia, my name is Niki, I live in Saint Petersburg city, and in this video I'm going to share every single sanction that affects me personally, because we are living in the crazy time when regular people are getting affected a lot by all this craziness happening around us. Today we are going to talk a lot about two things. First is the money issue, because sanctions basically made Russian ruble fall down dramatically. And the second big thing we are going to talk about, companies leaving Russian markets and basically banning Russian users, which is another crazy thing that I still don't understand. Like sanctions, I can understand partially, not every single one, but partially I can understand it. But companies leaving Russia and banning all users from Russia, that is something incomprehensible for me. Maybe somebody could explain this kind of stuff. Whatever, I'm staying here at a random park of Saint Petersburg on the way back home, and let's do a sanctions talk. I was thinking about what sanctions should I put in the beginning of my list, and I realized that it should be two sanctions or two things that somehow damage people who are against the things happening in Ukraine and have almost no influence on people who are staying inside Russia and supporting the in Ukraine. So the first one is Visa and Mastercard leaving Russian market. I have a Mastercard. It's issued by Russian bank, and actually inside of Russia I can use it same way like I did before. I can withdraw my money, I can pay my bills, let's say going to a restaurant and use my Mastercard to pay for everything. That's all right. The only inconvenience I have now is I'm not able to use my phone for pay with NFC technology, but honestly that's not a big deal. I carry my bank card, plastic bank card, and I can use Mastercard inside Russia. But once I have to go abroad, let's say if I or any other person have troubles with Russian government, has to flee, escape the country and go somewhere, let's say to European Union or somewhere like Turkey or somewhere to Asia, whatever it is, then once you leave territory of Russia, your Mastercard becomes a useless piece of plastic, like Visa and Mastercard. I don't understand why they did it. The second thing that I also don't comprehend is YouTube banning advertisements inside of Russia, basically hurting people and freedom of speech a lot. Let me explain. There are a lot of independent media and independent journalists who were doing really good job at informing Russian people about what's really going on around the world. They relied a lot on advertisements and brand deals on YouTube. It was their main source of income. But now, with YouTube canceling all the ads and now with brands being not able to pay them, they literally have no way to earn money. So basically when YouTube says we are not going to show any ads in Russia, that's a huge hit for lots of bloggers from Russia, including the independent medias. Talking about myself personally, this actually does not affect me a lot. I have about 5% to 7% of my viewers who actually watch me from Russia, so I don't lose a lot in this case, but anyways, it's something that affects me because I am able to receive less information from the sources that I get used to receive than before. Coming back to Visa and Mastercard. Right now I am not able to use my card to pay for any international companies, for any international products. Let's say I no longer can use Photoshop legally, I no longer can pay for Netflix, and I no longer can pay for VPN, which is actually a huge deal for Russians because now we need it to reach Instagram, soon maybe we'll need a VPN to reach YouTube. Also Facebook is blocked, Twitter is blocked, LinkedIn is blocked. For all these I'll need VPN. Free VPNs still work, but I prefer using paid VPNs, and it was really hard to actually buy a paid VPN with my card being rejected every single time I tried to pay for that. After all, I paid by crypto because somebody donated me money on crypto, and I was like, wow, that's my first crypto purchase. But whatever. There are also a lot of other companies that put their, let's say, their own sanctions to Russians. I'm talking about companies like Booking.com, like Airbnb. Another company that has their own sanctions towards Russians is PayPal. They basically banned all the accounts of Russian people, how crazy it is. And before I used PayPal for accepting donations from people and also for getting payments for my Russian club, but apparently now it's no longer working. TikTok is another huge hit for me personally, because it was my largest platform where I was posting videos, therefore earning money, affording my living in Saint Petersburg city. Now TikTok blocked the possibility to post videos and to go live for every single user in Russia, and that's huge, including me personally. There are some bloggers on TikTok who actually keep posting, but you have to do some tricks, not using VPN but another kind of stuff, and I simply don't want to overcomplicate my life with that. And actually having TikTok blocked is not only talking about money I receive personally, but it's also about having an information bubble for the entire population of Russia, because TikTok is not only about entertainment, it's also not only about educating, it's about having a connection person to person between people around the world. I used to follow a few influencers who was covering the stuff happening in Ukraine. I actually followed a few news medias on TikTok because they had a really nice format of sharing the information. Now I'm not able to reach it because TikTok blocked Russians. It's not like Russia blocked TikTok, it's they blocked us. So the general outcome of these money-related sanctions, for me personally, it's much harder to make money online the way I did before. And second, it's hard to spend my money to buying the things that I actually get used to buy before. If you like my content and want to support me and my channel, the best you can do is having a monthly subscription, so I'm able to plan ahead and possibly grow a team around my channel. I'll leave links to Patreon community and to my crypto wallets for single donations in the description of this video. Since the beginning of the sanctions, we had Russian ruble go crazy. Literally, it's a joke now, because Russian ruble lost like 70-80% of its value. And if you think it's not a big deal, let me repeat myself from one of my other videos. Imagine this is a price level from like 1 month ago, and the prices for most of the things got like 10, 15, 20% more expensive now. For certain list of things, they're actually 50, 100% more expensive now. But the salary of Russian people, it was like this, and maybe it will be like 5% more, maybe 10% higher than before, or maybe even stay on the same level, or for many people it will actually go down. Many people will face the unemployment problems. Hopefully not myself, but I see a lot of people around me are actually getting this problem. Like this morning I received news that 7,000 people from Sheremetyevo airport will stay home and have no work to do for the next month, having about 2/3 of their monthly income. Still, there is a reducement of their regular income, and in the future they might be in the situation when they have to find a new job. So talking about the prices, like yesterday I went to my local supermarket and I tried to buy some stuff that I get used to, that I get every single time. I was live streaming it on Instagram, talking to people about how prices changed in Russia, and I realized that the milk I used to buy before is about 40% more expensive, the eggs 15% more expensive, and the water, I actually don't remember the exact price, but it felt like 10-20% more expensive than before. And now imagine that every single thing around you gets more expensive, but you make the same amount of money every single month, like it doesn't change. The crazier is about technology. Russian cars, that's so expensive now for locals. Foreign cars, that's even more expensive. A few days ago I visited an app store just to check how much is the laptop that I bought 1 year ago for myself, and it went 115% higher compared to what I paid a year ago. Talking about the companies that leave Russia, you most likely heard like there's no more McDonald's, there's no more Starbucks, there's no more IKEA and many other companies that disappeared from Russian market. And there is an opinion that it might be actually beneficial for Russia, because now Russians have less competition, therefore it will be a good time for Russian businesses, and so on and so on. But in my opinion, that's actually a tragedy for Russia, because in the near future, most likely we'll be able to get things that we get used to with a poorer quality for a higher price. Every single thing that I wear now, like literally every single thing, from my glasses, my coat, my shoes, my pants, even my underwear, it is made somewhere abroad. Some of my stuff is from Uniqlo, they already quit Russian market. Some of my stuff is from other stores that are still staying here but raising prices. And all this makes me think, what is going to come next? I used to go to a foreign supermarket, Prisma, and I actually made a video about that, showing how prices different like 4 months ago and now. I made it a few weeks ago when Prisma was still opened, but right now you guess what? Prisma is closed. So the basic outcome is Russian people get more poor and we have less opportunity to find the things that we get used to have, including myself personally. I realize that there are plenty of other sanctions and actions by single companies that might affect my life that I haven't experienced yet, like the closed sky. Let's say if I want to fly to Europe, it's not possible because Russian planes simply cannot go there, and traveling to anywhere basically costs now 5, even 10 times more expensive than it was just a month ago. We also have no access to new American movies, which is actually sounds like a very minor thing compared to all this stuff happening around me. In this video I was talking only about the sanctions and the actions of foreign companies that somehow affected me, and I said no single word about the actions of our own government that also affect our daily lives a lot. I actually wonder if it's something interesting for you to hear about. I don't know, guys, it's like a very spontaneous video. I was just going home through this park and I decided to record this tiny speech of mine talking about the sanctions and the things that affected my daily life a lot. I realized that what is going on there in Ukraine is much more severe. It's much harder for people who live there and struggle with their daily life. But I'm staying here in Russia in something that I can share with you, share my experience of being a regular Russian person in Saint Petersburg during these crazy times. And I hope to continue being your tiny window into what's going on here during this craziness. Thank you for being with me, thank you for your support, and if you want to watch more stuff from Russia, check out this video.